facing off for the final time, the last debate of the campaign and the last chance to change a race that looks to have only one winner. The Prime Minister in desperate need of a win. The election betting scandal has dogged him for weeks. Neither side keen to give clear answers about this scandal.
If you've acted now on those to withdraw support from those two Conservative candidates, what did you find in that investigation?
Well, Rishi, you know there's an independent investigation which is ongoing, which is why I can't say anything further about that.
Labour has suspended one of its candidates too, its leader just as hazy on the details.
Do you know that none of your other candidates have placed similar bets?
Well, I've made clear to my candidates what the standards are.
Some of the most heated moments of the campaign so far, the two men fighting over spending.
How many hundreds is it?
Is it 200? I'm going to turn to the next question now.
Is it 400?
I think the Prime Minister must have put a bet on how many times he's going to interrupt me.
A pattern emerging, the Labour leader rarely keen to be drawn on details.
How would you are seeking power, what would you get those numbers down to through the approach you're talking about?
We want to get the numbers right down. We want to, with a plan to get people back into work.
The Prime Minister aggressive in his attacks.
You want to be in charge, but you've got nothing to say to people about what you would do about it. This election is about the future.
On immigration, Starmer pinning the blame on his opponent.
It's not just a border security issue, it's actually a national security issue because the government's lost control of who's coming and what their background is.
Rishi Sunak again arguing the Labour leader doesn't have his own plan.
You're going to sit down with the Iranian ayatollahs. Are you going to try and do a deal with the Taliban? It's completely nonsensical what you are saying, right? You are taking people for fools.
One word echoed over and over by the Prime Minister over a dozen times.
Do not surrender our borders to Keir Starmer. Do not surrender your finances to their tax rises. Do not surrender to their tax rises.
Outside the hall in Nottingham, protesters making their feelings clear. Their chants audible in the room too. All night, Rishi Sunak wanted to draw dividing lines with Labour, this time on women.
You can't deliver on what Vicky wants. So everyone who does want female spaces protected has to be prepared to change the laws of the Equalities Act.
The Equality Act, it is actually spelt out as one of the examples given in the Act. It always has been. And fabricating a difference here in a situation where actually we should be trying to find common ground and work together.
The closing message, Rishi Sunak pitching for another chance.
I understand why you're frustrated with our party. With me, I get it. And if you are not certain about Labour, don't surrender to them. Don't vote for any other party. Vote Conservative.
Keir Starmer wants your focus on the government's record.
If you want to end 14 years of chaos and rebuild our country, then that power is in your hands. On July the 4th, vote change, vote Labour.
It was Rishi Sunak's most aggressive showing of the campaign, but still not the win he needed.
A clear strategy from Rishi Sunak, putting his opponent repeatedly on the spot. But a snap poll afterwards suggested the public were 50-50 over who won, a result likely to disappoint the Conservative campaign.
Trailing in the polls, his campaign dominated by gaffes and sleaze. This may have been the high point of a torrid few weeks for Rishi Sunak, but will it be enough to keep him in number 10? Sam Coates, Sky News, Nottingham.